Second of all, I think that it's really important that people understand that Project 2025 is actually already underway. As someone who served in the Texas House and had to endure the Heritage Foundation sending bills, because that's exactly what they've been doing, is they've been sending bills through our state houses and our state senates. That is.
So hold on. So that means this group is actually influencing lawmakers. So the bills the lawmakers are bringing to the floor and actually voting on and getting passed, these bills are coming from a religious organization. What do we call that? Church influencing state. And that is going to birth the mark of the beast. That's the image of the beast.
What people need to understand and decide is if you like the direction that this country is going as it relates to our Supreme Court that has eviscerated our Constitution, that seemingly doesn't care anything about court precedents and seemingly only wants to bow down to Trump as if they are serving him in the way that Eileen Cannon just did, then that is what you will get more of. If you want to live in a country in which you are force-fed this pseudo-Christianity, where you have to believe in God and do the things that they say their God wants you to do, which I argue is the same God that they used to justify slavery in the first place.
So yes, she has a point that Project 2025, the GOP, the conservatives, and even the so-called Christian nationalists, they want to force the consciences of all Americans to worship God based upon their version of God. She has a point. That is correct. However, we're not going to leave the left off the hook because they also want to force us to become immoral, atheistic, godless, licentious. So we have to stand in the middle and actually present the facts. Here it is.
The issue that we don't understand is that the last kind of nail in the coffin is Trump getting into the presidency. And the scariest part about that is that let's say he decides he doesn't want to leave the White House. Well, who's going to check him? Because the Supreme Court has decided that checking him is not really something they're interested in doing. And
the point she just made is confirming what Marie just said. This is the ruling from SCOTUS on immunity. Here it is. U.S. Supreme Court rules Trump has broad immunity from prosecution. Not only Trump, but any other president. Understand that, okay? And here is Sotomayor. Listen.
If the president decides that his rival is a corrupt person and he orders the military or orders someone to assassinate him, is that within his official acts that for which he can get immunity?
It would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that could well be an official act.
It could, and why? Because he's doing it for personal reasons. He's not doing it like President Obama is alleged to have done it, to protect the country from a terrorist. He's doing it for personal gain. And isn't that the nature of the allegations here? That he's not doing these acts in furtherance of an official responsibility. He's doing it for personal gain.
I agree with that characterization of the indictment, and that confirms immunity, because the characterization is that there's a series of official acts that were done for an unlawful.
No, because immunity says even if you did it for personal gain, we won't hold you responsible. How could that be?
So, of course, she is left-leaning, and the law goes for any president. Do we realize that one law that was ruled by SCOTUS actually set the stage for the prophetic fulfillment of the death decree on all folks that they view as a rival to their narrative and movement?